You've never seen Hollywood this ugly. These actors faked charm on camera while abusing cast, breaking contracts, and assaulting crew. Well, one even stalked his leading lady for months. The truth about number 7 will ruin your childhood favorite. 20. Jerry Lewis. He made the world laugh, but behind the scenes, Jerry Lewis was a control freak with a volcanic temper and no filter. He once slapped his assistant during a meltdown, called female reporters stupid, and stormed out of a live interview just because the questions weren't scripted.
I have to answer the gentleman. I enjoy doing most all the characters. Maybe one more than the other, but it's very hard to pick.
His ego was untouchable. He genuinely claimed he was the only genius left in Hollywood. Jerry cursed out fans, rewrote scenes mid-shoot, and shut down entire production teams over costume choices. He screamed at Billy Wilder, refused to appear on set if the lighting didn't flatter him, and once fired an entire crew because someone touched his coffee. Keep watching, his tantrums only get weirder.
Would I lie? Would I lie? But I had the best time.
19. Bette Davis. Bette Davis didn't just play strong women, she terrorized everyone who worked with her. She demanded freezing cold sets so her breath would show, fired assistants weekly, and mocked young actresses like they were beneath her.
And this really does catastrophic things to your ego. And I didn't have a lot of ego and never have had lots.
During The Little Foxes, she refused to move a finger to help a fallen co-star, just to stay in character. Her feud with Miriam Hopkins was so brutal, crew members begged for reassignment. Bette bragged about never watching her own films because she was too good to relive. And when asked about being difficult, she famously said, "Of course I'm difficult. If it were easy, they'd call it Joan Crawford." Now that's a queen of chaos. Up next, an actor so toxic, crew members refused to say his name.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
18. Frank Sinatra. He had the voice of an angel and the fists of a mobster.
And I must say there were many times when I had to go on an errand that I skirted certain areas of the town.
Frank Sinatra didn't tolerate disrespect, and he made that violently clear. He smashed phones in hotel rooms over bad reviews, punched photographers in public, and once fired his pianist during a show because the tempo was off. Sinatra waved guns at people who annoyed him. He forced last-minute script changes to protect his image, and when Jackie Mason mocked him on stage, Frank allegedly had him beat up. He called reporters leeches, made racist jokes on record, and was banned from the White House under Nixon. Crew members said working with him was like tiptoeing around a lit fuse. The next guy, he didn't throw punches, he crushed reputations. 17. Marlon Brando.
I hate him personally because he makes probably the most delicious spaghetti in the world. Made me into the pig that I am today.
He was a legend, but on set, Marlon Brando was an arrogant, bloated nightmare who made chaos his full-time job. Brando never memorized lines. He used cue cards, hid scripts on co-stars' shirts, and once demanded a film crew speak to him only through his assistant. For Apocalypse Now, he showed up overweight, unread, and high. When asked to lose weight, he refused and said, "They'll shoot me however I show up." He called acting a stupid profession, trashed hotels, and mocked directors to their faces. One actor said working with him was like arguing with a lazy god, and he refused to attend his own Oscar win. 16. Edward G. Robinson. He played gangsters on screen, but behind the camera, Edward G. Robinson was even scarier. And trust me, the stories are real.
All other babies say, "Goo goo, dada." He looked up at me and he said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah."
Robinson once screamed so loudly at a crew member for misplacing a prop that the man quit on the spot. He insisted on wearing real loaded guns in his gangster films because props feel cheap. If a director gave him notes he didn't like, Robinson would light a cigar, blow smoke in their face, and walk off. He had multiple crew members fired for eye contact. While filming Key Largo, he demanded Humphrey Bogart's lines be cut, saying he, quote, deserved more screen weight. He once ripped up a $2,000 suit on set to protest a scene he thought was beneath him. And when asked about method actors, he said, "I don't act, I dominate." And that quiet chaos? It'll set the tone for what's coming next. 15. Errol Flynn.
I suppose there's a time when any man, even a man like me, can find something.
Hollywood idol Errol Flynn was more scandal than screen legend. On paper, he was dashing. In real life, he was pure chaos. Flynn was arrested twice for statutory rape and got off both times with help from powerful studio lawyers. He once showed up drunk to set, climbed the lighting rig, and refused to come down. Co-stars said he smelled like whiskey and cologne. He was banned from several hotels for starting knife fights in bars. Flynn called his own director a cockroach with a clipboard. During World War II, he faked medical conditions to avoid being drafted. And in his own memoir, he bragged about bedding over 10,000 women. Yes, he wrote that. Studios hid most of it, but the trail of wreckage he left was impossible to ignore. Next up, a silver screen sweetheart who was secretly the queen of revenge. 14. Bing Crosby. To the public, he was a crooner. To his family, he was a tyrant with a microphone. Crosby's own son, Gary, wrote in his memoir that Bing used metal golf clubs to discipline them, saying, "We had to keep one eye on the clock and the other on his mood." Bing once punched a stagehand for adjusting his mic. He fired a longtime producer over a misplaced Christmas jingle and reportedly docked musicians' pay if they missed one note. During rehearsals, he'd mock backup singers by mimicking their lines with a cartoon voice. In his will, he left his 4 sons only $50,000 each, while his second wife got millions. On set, crew called him, quote, the smiling executioner. And you won't believe which beloved leading lady made crew members sign NDA. Judy Garvin. She was the face of Oz, but behind that rainbow was hell on earth, and she dragged everyone down with her.
Maybe it will distress a lot of people, but I've had an awfully nice life. I really have had.
Judy was given amphetamines by MGM at age 16 to stay thin, and by 20, she was addicted. She showed up hours late to shoots, once vomiting between takes on Meet Me in St. Louis. She insulted co-stars openly, calling one a $2 tramp with a songbook. During The Pirate, she disappeared for 3 days. Producers once withheld her $100,000 paycheck until she finished just one song. She faked suicide threats to delay filming, blew through millions in rehab and divorce fees, and even told fans she hated The Wizard of Oz. At her worst, she slapped a fan who asked for an autograph outside a hotel. Stick around, next is an A-lister who destroyed careers with one whisper. 12. Katherine Hepern. She had poise in public, but in private, Katherine Hepburn steamrolled anyone who dared cross her. She mocked studio executives to their faces, once calling a producer a useless lump of hair gel. She demanded custom toilets on set and banned crew from wearing jeans near her.
She said, I called a friend of mine and said, how do you feel? And there was a long pause, and the woman said, well, I feel fine if you don't ask for details.
When she didn't like a script, she'd say, burn it and bury the ashes. On Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, she demanded entire lighting rigs be moved just to hide wrinkles. She blacklisted actresses she didn't like and refused to work with any woman she saw as prettier. Her assistants constantly quit. She once dumped an entire pitcher of water on a journalist asking about Spencer Tracy. Behind that classy accent was a razor-sharp blade. And now, the king of gaslighting, tantrums, and destroyed marriages enters the scene. 11. Orson Wells. A genius on screen, an absolute hurricane behind it.
If you have a good cameraman, if you have the cast that happens to be right, if you have a story that happens to be vaguely interesting, that is the art form that works in our day and age.
Orson Welles burned bridges faster than studios could build them. He blew through $800,000 of studio money on The Other Side of the Wind, then disappeared for months to rewrite the third act. He called producers leeches and once told his own editor, "Your hand should be broken." Wells was banned from multiple sets for insulting actors mid-scene. He'd send angry telegrams at 3 a.m., once reading, "You'll regret this until your grandchildren die." He refused studio cuts, trashed rooms when his films were re-edited, and called Hitchcock a gimmick merchant. On Citizen Kane, he made the entire crew walk backwards to see things differently. Some studios still call him the most talented disaster ever hired. Next up, the man who broke a Hollywood icon, then bragged about it. Spencer Tracy.
You hired me when I was broke, Mr. Aldrich. I won't let you down. I'll look after your merchandise like it was my very own.
The studios called him brilliant. His co-stars called him terrifying. Spencer Tracy was a two-faced icon with rage problems and a bottle in hand. He was a violent alcoholic who punched walls, screamed at women, and frequently vanished from set. MGM covered for him even when he trashed hotel rooms and verbally assaulted crew members. He cheated constantly on his wife and carried on an affair with Katherine Hepern for 25 years, but refused to ever acknowledge her publicly. Tracy once called a black co-star a boy on set, leading to crew walkouts. He slapped a director in front of the cast for giving him notes. And when asked why he acted out, Tracy shrugged, "They'll never fire me. I sell too many tickets." Stick around, because the next guy faked illnesses to ruin rival scenes. Tony Curtis. He had matinee looks, but Tony Curtis was a vengeful, insecure egomaniac who made sure no one outshined him.
I mean, a lot of people are writing sort of Hollywood exposés.
Oh, well, but yes, well, I mean, Jackie Collins wrote Hollywood Wives. I've had more Hollywood wives than she has.
On Some Like It Hot, he hated Marilyn Monroe so much he told reporters kissing her was like kissing Hitler. He would purposely sabotage scenes by faking coughs or flubbing lines just to steal extra takes. Curtis was obsessed with his billing, once threatening to sue Universal Studios for putting his name second on a poster. During one press junket, he demanded $25,000 extra to answer questions about Janet Leigh, his ex-wife. He lied about injuries to delay co-star scenes and reportedly had tape recorders hidden in dressing rooms to eavesdrop on gossip. He blew millions on cars, parties, and petty revenge. Coming up, the most spiteful diva in all of Golden Age cinema, Afelan Ava Gardner.
You're alive!
Well, of course I'm alive. What did you think I was?
Well, I'm not very bright.
She was Hollywood's ultimate siren, but Ava Gardner didn't care what anyone thought. She drank like a pirate, cursed like a soldier, and wrecked marriages without blinking. You ever wonder what it's like to slap a director on day one? Ava did that. She once walked off a $300,000 shoot because the costume made her look fat. Her favorite drink? Gin with a side of violence. Frank Sinatra begged for her until she beat him at his own game, having affairs with bullfighters, co-stars, even producers' sons. She said in an interview, "I like men, I just don't like keeping them." She lit cigarettes on stage, flashed crew members to break tension, and demanded her hotel room be lined with leopard print carpet, paid for by the studio. And what she did at MGM's Christmas party? You'll never believe it unless you hear it next. Laurence Olivier. You think Shakespearean royalty means class? Think again. Olivier was a petty, vindictive perfectionist who turned every set into psychological warfare. He mocked co-stars' looks behind their backs, once calling Marilyn Monroe a fat cow in glitter.
He had immense personality, colossal experience, tremendous presence, and was a great, great artist.
During Wuthering Heights, he refused to speak to Merle Oberon off camera because she was beneath him. When an actor forgot a line, Olivier didn't correct him. He repeated the mistake on purpose, just to watch the scene burn. He kept a private log of everyone who wronged him, crew, actors, even interns. On The Prince and the Showgirl, he made Monroe cry so often the assistant director threatened to walk. He called American actors lazy children with microphones, and once demanded 30 retakes of a single glare. Still watching? Because it's about to get darker. One Golden Age legend almost got banned from the industry. 6. Clark Gable. Everyone called him the king, but Clark Gable ruled with an iron fist and a silver tongue that could ruin careers in a sentence.
You should be kissed and often, and by someone who knows how.
Well, I suppose you think you're the proper person.
You ever met someone who looks charming but leaves destruction behind every smile? That was Gable. He had 6 wives, countless affairs, and a secret love child with Loretta Young, whom she was forced to pretend she adopted. On Gone with the Wind, he demanded a new director because he hated being corrected by theater types. He mocked co-stars, refused to do second takes, and once told Vivien Leigh, "You're good for a woman." He allegedly pressured producers to blackball actors he disliked. On location shoots, Gable stayed in $1,000 a night suites while crew slept in vans, and he demanded it be that way. And here's the part they erased. His most shameful secret is coming in just a second. 5. Joan Fontaine. She looked delicate, but behind the camera, Joan Fontaine was a silent saboteur who waged war with her own sister. Let me ask you, could you accept an Oscar while pretending your own family doesn't exist? Joan did. She and Olivier de Havilland were sisters, but enemies for nearly 50 years. Joan allegedly spread false pregnancy rumors about Olivier on set, declined to hug her at the Oscars, and leaked letters to gossip columns just to humiliate her. She once told a director to replace a rising actress because she looked too alive. When a co-star tried to speak between scenes, Joan said, "You get paid to act, not socialize." She demanded solo hair and makeup teams, even on low-budget films, and reportedly had her body double fired for being too curvy.
I think one does not dare go around with any kind of style any longer because it is envy.
Coming next, the most two-faced icon in old Hollywood. You'll never watch her movies the same way again.
4. Lucille Ball. You grew up loving her, but Lucille Ball could be vicious behind the scenes, and her worst moments carefully erased by the studios.
Short, real Italian, ladies that spoke Italian, and it's very difficult to find the real peasant.
Quick question for you. What if America's Sweetheart controlled every script just to stay #1? Lucy did. She once had a younger co-star fired for being too pretty in close-ups. On I Love Lucy, she demanded total script approval, and if she didn't like a punchline, she'd scream at writers until they rewrote it. Crew said she once called a lighting tech a rat-faced moron for placing a shadow on her cheek. She installed a private phone line to CBS executives so she could get people fired mid-shoot. Lucy hated sharing the spotlight so much, she refused guest stars unless they agreed to act less funny. Desi Arnaz? She made him sleep in a guest room for months before their divorce. Still with me? Because what comes next ruined careers across 3 continents. 3. Charlie Chaplin. He made the world laugh, but Charlie Chaplin's real story is anything but funny. You ready for this? He was banned from the U.S. for a reason. Chaplin had affairs with teenage girls, one as young as 15, and married 4 different women, all of whom accused him of emotional abuse. He once told a co-star, "You're too dumb to be famous, but I'll use your face." During City Lights, he forced 342 takes of one scene, humiliating the blind flower girl actress until she broke down crying. He insulted crew members by name in interviews and fired his own brother over creative jealousy. Chaplin fled America when the FBI opened a file on him for communist sympathy, and J. Edgar Hoover tried to deport him. When he returned 20 years later, even his fans had turned. But Chaplin didn't care. "I'm bigger than the country," he once said. If that shook you, wait until you hear which Golden Age queen buried her rivals alive, metaphorically. 2. Marlene Dietrich Glamorous, mysterious, cold as steel. Marlene Dietrich didn't just demand respect, she obliterated anyone who didn't give it.
And they said that I had a big success, which I never thought I would have. You know, I wasn't starred in the film, you know that.
Can I ask you, how far would you go to erase your competition? Because Marlene would go all the way. She famously wore men's suits to premieres and dared the press to criticize her. But off camera, she was known for threatening directors with lawsuits if she wasn't shot from the right angle. She demanded silk toilet paper on set and once delayed filming for 2 days because her eyeliner pencil was missing. She blacklisted actresses she hated and allegedly paid tabloids to run fake cheating stories on co-stars. In one rage fit, she threw a $10,000 fur coat in the trash just to spite a costume designer. And her own daughter claimed Marlene saw her as competition, not family. Ready for the final name? Because it's the most two-faced, fear-inducing diva in all of classic Hollywood. 1. Joan Crawford. We saved the most ruthless for last. You've heard rumors. Now you get the uncensored truth.
Al and I helped build Pepsi to what it is today. I intend to stay with it.
Joan Crawford was a storm in a sequin dress. Let me ask you, what do you do when your mother hangs you by the arms for not folding a dress right? Ask Christina Crawford. Joan's obsession with control went beyond terrifying. She filled her house with bleach-soaked floors and screamed at her kids for using wire hangers. On set, she ordered script rewrites that favored her, even if it ruined the plot. She fired maids mid-shift, made co-stars cry, and reportedly kept vodka in her perfume bottles so she could drink secretly between takes. During whatever happened to Baby Jane, she filled her pockets with rocks to hurt Bette Davis during a fight scene. Crawford also demanded $5,000 a week in flowers for her dressing room and once tore them up because they weren't white enough. You made it to the end, but which of these legends do you think was the worst? Scroll the comments, join the war, and hit that next video.